Hello, this is Stephen Rose with Praxey, and today I'm going to give you a tutorial about how to use Praxey to make paid calls. As you can see on the screen, on the left side, I'm on the Praxey homepage. It's not actually the homepage, it's a test server, but this is what the homepage looks like. And on the right is a mirror of my Android device, which we'll get to when I actually start making calls. You'll see how that works. Before I start with this, I just want to explain a couple things that sometimes people get confused by. The first thing is to please recognize that everybody who signs up on Praxey, whether you're signing up to make a call or whether you're signing up to receive calls, everyone has the same type of account. So when you sign up, which we'll do here, it's very easy, you have the capability of receiving paid calls. And I suggest you consider if there's a way for you to get paid for your time. If you have a special skill, if you have a unique education, any kind of unique knowledge that people might pay for, you can go ahead and hang your shingle up and say, I'm available, and put a decently low rate there, and people may want to call you. I've suggested to people before that anywhere you have a phone number that you're giving out in a professional sense, you can also give out a link to a Praxey account that you've set up and that is installed on your phone. And the reason for that is there's lots of circumstances where somebody might call you on the phone, but they don't want to talk to you for the reason you gave them your number. They want to talk to you for some other reason, maybe a marketing thing, or maybe who knows the reason. But and this is these frustrating phone calls we get where it's a cold call and somebody, we know we're not going to get anything out of it. The person's trying to sell us something. Having a Praxey profile allows you to say to the person, look, if you want to talk, I'm willing to talk, but you call me on Praxey. It's 50 cents a minute, and I'll talk to you as long as you want. And some people might go for that. I think if you give people a way to pay you for your time, some percentage of people will be willing to do it because it's a sign of respect. Hey, this person's time is valuable, and I'm going to show you that I respect that your time is valuable by paying you the amount that you're asking because I want to talk to you for whatever purposes. So, but that's the important takeaway here, is that all accounts are the same. All accounts start off as private, and if you're going to try to sell your services on Praxey, you need to go into the account settings and turn it to public, and then people will be able to search and find you and call you. But this tutorial is specifically about making a call, and so let's move towards that direction. There's two ways you might get to a starting point for making a call, which is a person's profile. One is a person you know, who you're a customer of, who's somebody who's communicated with you, gives you their profile, gives you a link, and you go to it. The other way is if you go on Praxey and search for that person. So I'll do the second way, but they both bring us to the same point, which is the starting point. Now let's assume my pet is sick on a Sunday night and none of the vets are open, and I want to go see if maybe I can have a video call with a vet on Praxey. So I go search pet, and lo and behold, there is a vet that I find here that's on Praxey. This is the starting point of Praxey calls. It's a profile. You might be looking at this on your browser on your phone, but it's the same process. We're looking at it on the computer browser, but it's the same process. And it's a very simple process. All you have to do is sign up, add your card, and now you can make calls to anyone you want. So this is the profile page. Let's just go over it real quick. This is what you would see. Somebody would share this. Hey, you can call me, or here's my Praxey account. You come to this page. There's a brief summation of what they do. There's a username. There's a costs. And then there's a description of what type of account it is. Now the cost misleads some people, so I'll just briefly explain this. There's a minimum and there's a cost per minute. All this means is when you make a call to somebody, you're agreeing to purchase a certain minimum amount of minutes at that rate. So in this case, $5 a minute, $30 minimum. You have to buy at least 6 minutes. So if you call and talk for 2 minutes, you get charged for 6. And the idea behind that is it's inconvenient to talk to somebody, have a ring, get disrupted. So sometimes people want, okay, we'll just start a minimum, okay? Or people don't like to be rushed, and they know if they go straight minute to minute from the beginning, there's going to be a rush. People are going to want to cut corners. So let's just call, you have to buy a certain block of time, and then beyond that you get charged incrementally. So in this case, for example, if you took 10 minutes of the person's time, you'd be charged 50. So the idea is it's the greater of the minute per minute cost or the minimum. Whichever is greater is what the charge is on the call. Now about the account types here, you can have audio only accounts. There's audio and video, which you have the option. Do you want to make an audio call? Do you want to make a video call? And then there's recordable calls. So you have the option of making that call recordable. If you make the call recordable, then, and that will be a pop-up right at the beginning of the call. Do you want this to be recorded? If you select that, then at the end of the call, both you and the recipient will get a copy, a link to download the video of both audio and video streams. So just know that both of you are going to get a copy of that. And I always encourage people to make their accounts recordable, but they have the option to not make it recordable. Then there's going to be a description where somebody would describe more about who they are, why you should call them. Link to social media, potentially, if you want to follow, if you want to see some of their videos first. Facebook account. There's also Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. And then a video. This hopefully will be an introduction to the person. What can you expect when you make a call with me? And then there's ratings. Number of calls they've received, number of ratings, positive versus negative, and you can see the review and response and the date, etc., and who did it. So pretty standard stuff. All of this on the profile page is designed to get you comfortable with the person, designed to get you to understand what to expect when you call the person, designed to warm you up to them, so you say, okay, this looks like someone solid, this looks like someone who's gotten a lot of good reviews, this price is affordable, I'm going to go ahead and make the determination to make the call. So what you need to do to make the call is to create an account, and you can do that right on this page. You don't even have to move away from it. You just click this button here in the middle, click the sign up, log in, or add a card. I'm going to click it now, and you have a sign in option if you already have an account, or you can create a new account, which is what I'm going to do now. So put your email address in. I'm going to say Praxey admin 123 at praxey.com, and then Praxey admin 123 will be my username. Put in a password, copy that password, agree to the terms of use. I do recommend you read the terms of use. It's designed to be easily readable. It's only a couple pages, but I already know them, so I'm going to go ahead and create the account. And that's all it takes to create an account. We actually have an account now. That email address received an email verifying it. We don't have an email verification, so you make sure that you type it right and you make sure you get the email, because otherwise we might have the wrong email address. So there's only one more step required before you can call the person, and again, you might be doing this all from your cell phone browser, but it works fine, is put your credit card number in. So I'm going to put in some dummy information, as this is a dummy server, but you would put in your actual number, and then we're going to put the code in, and then add the card. And voila, you see how these buttons have been revealed now. These buttons are what we get because now we have an account and we have a card in. And we can always come back whenever we sign in again, it will remember our card, and you can make other calls or do whatever you need to do. Now, I could directly call immediately. I could call this video, press this button, and it would start ringing on my phone. But generally speaking, the best practice is to send a text message ahead of time, and this just makes sure that the person is not in the middle of the store shopping, he's not jogging or whatever when you call. So we're going to send him a message asking, hey, my pet's sick, are you available? So I'm going to click here. Hi, my pet is sick, and I need to talk to a vet. Are you available? And then you say send. And now if you watch what happens on the right side of the screen, you'll see a push notification coming in right here, and he's gotten that message. And if I go here, you see the messages tag is flagged, and he goes to messages, and there you are right at the top. Click on there, and then you have that message down here. One thing I would recommend you do when you start this process is put your phone number into this field here where it says enter phone number. And the reason I say that is because what we'll do is we'll take that number and we'll relay any messages you get in response. And so, as you can imagine, in some cases, SMS messages, which are the text messages on your phone, they have higher priority. They're usually more solid, faster than the push notification messages you get. We do send a push notification message anyway, but if you have your phone number in here, then you get an SMS as well. So it gives redundancy, and you also will get an email. So you get triplicate redundancy, with the idea being you want to get back to this person as soon as possible. Now let's say he's busy right now when he gets this message. 5 minutes later he sends a response, and I'll do that here. It's a little occluded because of this video screen. I'm gonna do this. All right, so I'm gonna send a response. Yes, please call in 5 minutes. Okay, and then watch what happens to the website. You can see it refreshes and pops up. Now, that's all well and good because I'm still here waiting. But if I had gone away, if I had turned my phone off, if I had done whatever, and then he gets back to me 5 minutes later, says, "Give me a call." Well, if I have my phone number in there, I get a SMS. So I'm going to get that beep. I'm going to get that alert, and then I'm going to know I have a message. I need to go, and then we can start texting. So that's sort of how you initially negotiate with the texting. Now we ask people not to try to use the texting to get the information, so don't ask them, what should I do about such and such? This is mostly for scheduling, and so we ask you to respect that because this is free, but the ultimate goal for the vendor is to get paid. Please keep that in mind, that we don't want you to try to use the free texting to get access to the person and then not use it to make a call. This is really to figure out a time. But we've decided 5 minutes is a good time. Let's say 5 minutes is up. I want to go make a call now. So I'm going to call him, and I'll go ahead and hide this on my phone so you can see. Okay, now I'm going to start a call, video call. And the last thing I see before it starts is this pop-up about recording. Now remember, this could all be done on your browser on your phone. You don't even need the app. Okay, so you can call directly from your phone browser, and it has all these capabilities. So I don't want to record it, so I'm going to say no thanks. Now the call is going through. You see I get a ringing push notification right here. Incoming Praxey call. So I'm going to click that. And this is what you see. Go ahead and answer that. And now we have a video call active. Now you have a grace period of 30 seconds before the call minimum charge kicks in. If you stop the call in the first 30 seconds, there will be no charge, because this is if for some reason you have a very slow connection, or you have it's not working right. You can stop. We obviously don't want to charge you whatever the minimum call charge is if you stop the call because of technical issues. So if you need it, if you have any problems in the first 30 seconds, go ahead and stop it. But once it goes past 30, then the full minimum kicks in, and so we're in game time now. I'll just show you some of the features. These are pretty standard. If you click on the screen, you toggle the controls panel on and off. So you can see I'm doing that here on both. On, off. All right. If I turn the camera, or if I turn my phone to the side, you can see it works in the same way. Okay. I'm going to toggle it back now. If you want to, you can toggle your camera just like you would expect. So I'm going to show my pet to the vet now. Here you go. See my pet. Okay. And then when I want to talk, when I want him to see me again, switch it back. You can toggle the picture-in-picture video, or turn it off, which is what I like to do because it's distracting to see myself when I'm talking to someone. Or you can move it to any of the other corners. And you can also change the formatting. So I just full screen here or original format. And all of this is also able to be done on the desktop, except the camera toggling because you don't have a back camera on your desktop. But there's other things with the desktop. You can do a full screen, so you show everything on full screen, and you can also share. So I could share my screen with somebody, and that's really helpful in some circumstances. You can see also that there's when you're on a browser, like I'm on my computer browser, there's a reload option, and that's helpful if there's a connection craps out or the video breaks up or for some reason it's just not working and you don't want to stop the call. You can try the reload, and sometimes that will reset things. The calls are pretty solid technically, but sometimes their problems do come up, and so before you hang up, try to do a reload. I'll do it now and you'll see how quickly it goes back and that the time doesn't get reset. So we're at 3 minutes right now. I'm going to reload. It'll probably take about 5 seconds before we're back up, and then reconnected and everything is working fine. So yeah, it took about a little more than 5 minutes that time, but anyway, that's something that you can do. Aside from that, that's pretty much what you would expect. So I'm going to go ahead and hang up the call. And you see now what both sides see. On the left side is the caller. The caller says how much he's been charged. It says if your call dropped or you need to follow up, you can call back within 1 hour. Now we set this 1 hour minimum where the minimum call charge can only be charged once in that hour. This is designed to, if you're having a call with someone, let's say they're charging $1 a minute and $10 minimum, and you're 5 minutes into the call and you drive into a tunnel and the call craps out, then you want to call right back, but you don't want to get charged that minimum again, because that would be unfair, because you've already been charged the minimum from the call dropping, from the first call. So what we do then is allow you to call back within an hour and not get charged the minimum. You'll still get charged the per minute rate, but just not the minimum. And people can adjust this on their account, so they might say, you know, it's a $50 minimum, but then you can call me back throughout the entire day, and you don't get charged the minimum. They can adjust that, but the default is 1 hour, and that's what this one has. Anyway, so the last step of this would be to give a review for the call. You could say this was a great experience, and submit that review. And then, of course, we would love it if you could tell your friends about your experience. Tell your friends about Good Boy Vets and how much they helped you. Share it on your social media accounts if you had a good experience. We really do think that Praxey it's great because paying people for their time, as I said at the beginning of this tutorial, it really is showing respect to somebody. It really is the chemistry on a call when one person is paying the other is very different than the chemistry where it's a free call. Maybe you're calling your friend for asking for help. People like to pay, okay? And people like to get paid. And people want to really help you when you're paying them. And people want, you know, or feel good about paying people for their time. So we think this is a very good thing, not just purely from an economics perspective, but for everyone involved, that everyone would gain if people would use Praxey more to get help, to get information. And to that end, we do have, there's other tutorials if you want to go through some of this stuff, how to set up an account. But one thing I would want to point out before I go here is the request to call feature. Request to call feature is something we built which allows you to send if you have somebody's email address, somebody you know but who's not on Praxey, you can send them a request and offer them a certain amount of money for a certain amount of time. And you can say to them, all you have to do is say who you are, who they are, their email address, what type of call you want, audio or video, do you want it recordable, how many minutes you want to talk to them, how much you're offering them, what the topic will be. Send them a message, and we'll send the request to them through their email account. And when they get that email, if they click the link, it'll populate everything for them. Everything you've put in here, it'll populate for them. All they have to do is say okay, install the app, and sign in. And then you'll get a notification saying he has accepted this request. Do you want to call? And so I encourage you to think, is there someone I want to talk to? Is there someone who I have enough respect, admiration, who I don't know, who maybe would benefit? I would benefit from talking to them, and they might be amenable to having a call. And I could show them my respect for their time by paying them. Go ahead and use this, and I think you'll find a lot of people are interested curious about why somebody would offer them money for their time, but then find it to be a very enjoyable experience having done it. So that's a longer overview about how to make a call on Praxey. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, admin@praxey.com. Thanks so much for listening today, and I hope you have a great experience with Praxey.